When we talk about this revolt of the public, one of the things that attracts me to trying to grapple with it as a parent is I don't want my kid to go running out in the street burning Starbucks because of a desire to have a transcendental experience. Like, that's not a productive thing to do, I don't think. But it's clearly really alluring to a lot of kids, to a lot of young people. They feel this draw that there's something wrong, and I think some of it goes back to some of these things, these crises that they're presented from a lot of different angles. Climate change being one of the big ones right now. So help me.
I think actually I would put cause and effect to be completely the opposite.
Oh, okay.
I think these people are Greta Thunberg, perfect example. She wrote. She clearly is somebody who had certain personality. I don't know what to call them. I mean, she forget the words she used, but clearly she was somebody who had no friends, didn't feel like she had a purpose in life. And then she started the school strike movement against global warming. That is, to me, something that somebody who has something missing inside of them that they want to latch on to as, okay, a catastrophe. The whole world is just like me. We're all going to blow up in 12 years. I think anybody who has a strong sense of themselves would do the normal thing, which is say, okay, how is that going to happen? Don't just tell me it's the end of the world. Tell me, what are the stages to get there? Who has been predicting it for how long? How true has it been from then? And where do I fit in that? And you may become a climate change activist, but you're not going to become Greta Thunberg because you have a sense of, you didn't have a need to fill to begin with. That those crazy ideas, those extreme ideas, placing what may be a geophysical phenomenon, global warming, into an apocalyptic model, right, of the end of the world. You're not going to fall for that. You're going to see it as what it is. It's something that's happening on the earth. How do we deal with it? What's the rational way to look at it? I think meaning can be had in many different ways, and I am not an expert in that, so I'm not going to talk about it, but I think the family is a great producer of meaning because there's a lot of affirmation, right? There's a lot of affirmation. And so, you have to affirm the things you disagree with sometimes, and sometimes the things you wish you could force them towards. But in the end, to the extent that the family can be a source of affirmation and meaning to a young person, I think that person is going to confront all of that in a very different model from the Greta Thunberg. Is like, I'm missing something in my life, therefore, hooray, there's going to be an end of the world, and I'm going to be the Joan of Arc of the end of the world.
I mean, that's such an important big guardrail against getting sucked into nihilism.
Yes. Is
there other things that strike you as being important in armor? I don't know whether to say. I don't know what the metaphor is for the. It might be a diving suit in the tsunami, so you can breathe while you're under the water. But are there other things that we can consciously do to deal with this?
I think what you need is a really, really big surfboard. You can't wear armor. You got to sink to the bottom. You can't wear a suit. You just got to roll around. You need to be able to surf it, and. I don't have a cosmic answer because it's such a complicated landscape, but every one of us in the end finds sources that they find credible. I have people like Barry Weiss that I find very credible, and I can name you a few others. So you start by building an informational world around people that in the past you have felt, had integrity and were articulate and more or less presented a picture of reality that seemed to coincide with what you understood to be the case. And then it's always good to have others that are kind of over here ranting and raving, and you kind of look at them and go, so is there anything to that? There's a little bit of inoculation that needs to happen. In other words, you can't keep people away from crazy messages online because 90% of them are crazy, right? In some sense, right? Even if it's only the tone is crazy, even if the content, the actual substance is not. So you need to be able to navigate through the crazy to the substance. And if you have certain anchors that help you do that, the Barry Weisses of the world, then you can venture out, into the more turbulent areas and you at least have a point of reference. But you need always a point of reference. And the only way you have a point of reference is with an authority that you trust. I trust Barry Weiss. She is an authority to me, okay? So she has authority. She has what the old institutions have lost. And you need to find people like that. It's as simple as that.
If you like this clip, we've got more where that came from. Be sure to watch the full video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our new videos as they come out each week.